Yo, Andrew.
Hey, bro. All right, talk to us.
Bro, I don't give a fuck, bro. They held me down and they made me watch little kids get raped. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Where?
Bro, they fucking took me to the fucking woods, bro, and they fucking tied. I'm not fucking joking, bro. I have fucking proof, bro. I don't give a fuck. Bro, I fucking will show you every fucking video you could ever fucking believe. Bohemian Grove is real. They fucking tied me down and they made me fucking watch, dog. I absolutely don't give a fuck anymore. Yes, I fucking lost it. They're raping little kids.
He doesn't want to take us all, so let's go. Come on. He doesn't want to take us all.
Fuck this guy. Bro, fuck this dude, dude.
Who?
Bro,
You know
you know the higher elites, bro. You already know who they are, bro.
No, you know
you know the path
Andrew,
you're going down is dangerous, my friend.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. They can't touch me. I'm a god.
Yeah, man. I think he could be on drugs, very possible. But also, he could be going to like mental issues. But he was talking to Andrew Tate, and he was having another conversation about things that people have allegedly done to him, like nasty stuff, right? As a kid.
Tell everyone at home then. Start from the beginning. When did this happen? Where did this happen? What exactly did you see? Why have you tweeted the things you've tweeted? Let people at home understand you a little
Because
bit.
I don't give a fuck, bro. They raped me, right? I was 2 years old. They raped me. I have proof of that too. That's where it all started.
And you don't know what kind of mental trauma that could be having on somebody. And also, they're people are saying it's just for promotion, which is very also possible. But I'll say 50. I'm 50-50 on that opinion. Like, it could be a promotion, but he could also be going through some real shit. Like I keep saying, that young, that much attention and fame and money. We've seen it with Disney artists. I mean, Disney actors and actresses and all these kids, actresses. We've seen it happen. We, you know what I'm saying? We see the breakdown right in front of our faces and we still ignore it. Like, and plus his job is literally to get banged in his fucking head. So, yeah.
In only 10 months, Ryan Garcia went from speaking like this.
I didn't even let the insecurities of, I can't believe I got dropped, or the fear of embarrassment. None of that got to me in that moment.
To speaking like this.
It wasn't hard. I knew he was going to come back. I even told him, you'll be back. Remember, he was all, don't ever talk to me again, blah, blah, blah. I said, you'll be back, Mr. 30K pay-per-view box.
It's possible to think this was the case for only one of the podcasts he was on. But it's clear from multiple appearances he has done recently that something has seriously changed. Despite being only 25, Ryan has been in boxing from a very young age, and people are speculating whether the long time in the sport has been catching up with him. Ever since entering the professional world of boxing, he's been the cover boy for lighter weight divisions, as he built his online persona fairly early and was a familiar face for many, not only boxing fans. But recently, there's been a radical change in his behavior by displaying signs of alcohol or drug abuse in his speeches, as he keeps...
That has been one of the most talked about topic when it comes to Ryan, right? Like, what drugs is he on? And how often is he doing those drugs? And is he able to have the next fight that he's scheduled for? But I also want to say ahead of time, like, he's young, yo. Like, 25 years old to have made $100 million. Like, you know, I don't think, I personally could not comprehend what that does to the brain of a 20 or 18-year-old. Because he's had money since then. Like, that type of money where you could do anything. Like, what does it do to you as a person? Does it transform you? Does it, even if you are naturally a good person, right? Now you have abundance of things, like abundance of drugs, abundance of whatever you want. Like, and you are young, you know, you're still like active, have everything still in your hands. You know what I'm saying? Your balls are still filled. You know what I mean? Like, what does that really do to you, man? Like,
It all started back in April 2023 when he was scheduled to fight Gervonta Davis at a 136-pound catchweight bout. At this point, both fighters were undefeated and some of the biggest draws in the sport. During this period, boxing was facing a huge problem of top guys avoiding each other and settling for lower competition to not risk their undefeated records. And with the rise of the UFC and the politics deeply involved in boxing, many of the fight fans left the sport as they weren't getting what they wanted.
With this fight,
the matches were with lesser opponents, not even that, but I feel like for the past couple of years, boxing has been stuck in this gimmick phase where I can't say gimmick because it makes money, and boxing is a business. You know, money has to be made and money has to be generated. And saying that, like, people like Logan Paul and the KSIs have been, they gathered a lot of attention into boxing more than the fans leaving to because they weren't getting the matches that they wanted. I think other platforms like the celebrity boxing grabbed more of their attention, and they were more looking for entertainment, like WWE style of stuff, instead of like hard on boxing pounding, Pause.
You gotta understand, we both have careers without each other. I could fight other people and make millions of dollars. He could fight other people and make millions of dollars. Obviously, we came into this fight and said, no, we're gonna do this now. So this right here will show where the trajectory of the sport's gonna go to.
Throughout the build-up to their fight, Garcia touched up on these problems and admitted he accepted this fight to shed some light on the sport again, despite many of the stipulations Davis's team had put him under. The big taboo before this bout was the fact Davis placed the rehydration clause on him, where he wasn't allowed to gain more than 10 pounds in between the weigh-in and night of the fight. This meant he wouldn't be at his 100% during the match, as he was still depleted.
I have to say that was a good fight. Like, that was a good fight. I watched that shit and I was like, there's no way. Like, first round, I was like, no, there's no way. He's not standing against Gervonta Davis like that. Like, it's not happening. You know what I mean? Like, and then second round came, and then wham, bam, boom, he's gone, out of there.
The biggest ones we have seen in boxing recently, and both fighters made the walk. And although Garcia brought the fight to him, Davis outboxed him convincingly. He managed to win only 2 rounds and got dropped in the second. Then in the 7th round, Davis glanced him with the liver shot, which forced Garcia's body to shut down, and he wasn't able to recover before the 10-second count. However, the fight was a huge success as they managed to sell 1.2 million pay-per-views at the price of $85, which made Garcia roughly $30 million. Following his knockout loss, Garcia's relationship with Golden Boy Promotion started to fall apart as they got involved in a legal battle. Besides the legal issues, he has been going back and forth with its founder Oscar De La Hoya on Twitter, where he was accusing him of disrespecting his career and being around him only for the money. The problems arose after Garcia couldn't accept.
I did not watch, or haven't watched yet, but it's a documentary on Drake, the guy from Drake and Josh, on Nickelodeon. He recently came out with a documentary about how he got abused as a child, being a child actor. I feel like some of those people, man, they're exposed to a lot of stuff, like especially the people who start out young and having all these adult managers or adult people like looking after them. It's kind of like guardianship, kind of. Like, it's like a little puppy on a chain. Like, I feel like a lot of them get taken advantage of because, first of all, they don't know the business. Secondly, they're, still young. Like 18 years old is 20 is very, very young. Like you haven't even lived half of what you're gonna leave. If you if you die at 60 years old, that's another 40 years of experience that you will gather in your life. Like at 20, you're very, very stupidly young. Like and although we are considered adults at that age, it doesn't mean that you've even experienced half of the things that you're gonna experience. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I'm just saying he's more susceptible to be taken advantage of at that age, and a lot of those kids, it happens to them, man, unfortunately.
His loss against Tank and started blaming others. Just before his next fight against Oscar Duarte, Garcia took an opportunity at the press conference to speak openly against De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins.
The statements that Bernard made, where he'll decide if I'm gonna finish or if I should continue boxing after this fight. He don't decide that. Oscar's saying that we misinterpret what they say. It's plain English.
De La Hoya was later asked to give his side of the story on the matter.
Bernard stated that if it was him, he didn't say, well, this is what Ryan should do. So when you're dealing with kids, it's really hard to get across that message. And then
he's acting like he didn't know he was dealing with a kid prior. Like, you already knew who you were managing.
You have Ryan saying this and that, so it's all BS.
The situation got very messy between the two, and neither side was completely innocent. Nevertheless, Garcia managed to get back in the win column by TKOing Duarte in round 8. And just as it seemed like things would start to get better for him, his appearance on the PBD podcast took people by surprise. This was the first time
I've never done cocaine, so I don't know. That's just what I've seen or what I've heard people say. Like that little nose thing, like he kept on doing. Apparently that's a sign of using coke or abusing coke. I don't know. But he did that when that first clip first started, and
we've seen him do any interviews since the last fight. And many noticed a sudden change in his speech and demeanor.
I brought the energy to the gym. When I come in the gym, everybody's having a great time, and we're all working hard. I'm like a brother. I'm brotherhood.
The initial noticeable change was the physical transformation in his face, as he appeared more bloated and puffy. While this could be attributed to weight gain, it could also signal alcohol abuse, as excessive drinking often leads to water retention around the face. If we take a look at his older interviews, he typically appeared relaxed and thoughtful in his speech. However, in this one, he seemed visibly uneasy throughout the conversation, frequently diverting from the topic and interrupting Patrick by picking up his phone mid-question or cutting him off mid-sentence.
Yeah, he's a fucking, like I was saying, he's a kid. Like all these things are like, he's a kid, like maybe he needs more media training. Maybe he's, people change too. Like you could wake up tomorrow and you feel completely different than you feel today about opinions, about things, about everything. I just think it's he might be on drugs. Yes. I mean, he's probably dealing with a lot of shit we don't even know about. Like go out there and get pounded on your head every single day and see how you feel about life when you wake up. I don't know. I'm not saying either wrong or right because that's what he chose for his life, but fuck. Yeah. Like, yeah, he might be on coke. Yeah. So why he made $100 million at 25. Like, what do you want?